Primetime Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello and welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Callan Dunlop. Thanks for joining us. RCMP remain on the scene of a triple homicide that happened at a home in Lloydminster Wednesday evening. Police were called to the residence in the area of 47th Ave and 50th Street for a wellness check and found 3 people deceased inside. The search for the suspect or suspects continue, but RCMP say there is no risk to the public. Autopsies will take place over the next few days. And no information has been released today, but a GoFundMe has been set up for the families of the victims. It can be found under the name The Peters Family. Organizers of the campaign say the money raised will be used to help pay for funeral costs and other expenses. Some residents of Pioneer Lodge are being allowed to return to the facility following a fire there earlier this week. A statement from the CEO says most residents will be moved back following clear environmental and asbestos tests. However, those who resided in one wing will have to remain displaced for an unknown period of time. Operations are in contact with the residents' families to ensure a smooth and safe transition. The cause of the fire was determined to be an electrical spark in the attic of one wing. Staff at the lodge wish to thank everyone involved for their continued patience, understanding, and support during this process. Lloydminster's Stormwater Utility Bylaw, which governs the fees taxpayers pay towards the city's storm drainage systems, has been adjusted. Stormwater utility rates are based off of property size, as well as their contribution to the stormwater system. The changes include financial differences for multi-metered homes and enacts a monthly billing process compared to the yearly cycle prior.
Questions were asked by council members about what about the cost factor of going from an annual bill down to a monthly bill. Because if you're only getting billed X number of dollars, and I'll use $60 as an example, divide that by 12, you're getting a bill for $4.50 basically a month. Is that being effective?
Council is moving forward with the proposed changes, and administration ensures properties with only one water meter will be unaffected.
For the average taxpayer and the average landowner, there will be no change. Where this certainly was applicable was to condo boards, vacant land, certainly, and multiple water meters on a property. That's where this will play a factor. If you have one water meter on your property, you're a single family home, there will be no change at all. But certainly there was a number of properties that fall into the condos or management in that group, but also multiple meters and vacant land.
The annual Fall Fest is planned for this weekend, along with the Bordertown Hog Toy Run. Heather Klages has more details on this week's edition of What's Happening.
This weekend is a busy weekend in our area, and Bud Miller Park is going to be the place to be. Coming up tomorrow, Fall Fest is at Bud Miller Park. Activities get underway at 12 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and they've got so many free activities lined up for you and your family. Make sure you visit the Family Fun Zone. There's lots of different activities there, including bounce houses. You've got a chance to enjoy some live music. There's going to be horse-drawn wagon rides. The Lloydminster Museum and Archives, they're going to have a craft tent and different games set up. Plus, you've got an opportunity to roast a hot dog. There's going to be some great food available as well. It's all coming up tomorrow. Fall Fest presented by the Lloydminster District Co-op here at Bud Miller Park. For all the details, go online, lloydminster.ca/fallfest. Coming up tomorrow, the Bordertown Hog Chapter is hosting their 13th annual toy run. The day starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow with breakfast at Denham Chrysler. Kickstands, they're going to go up at 11:30, and you'll see them parade through the city of Lloydminster. Then they'll be out on their toy run, enjoying the day out on the roads in the area. Following the toy run, there's going to be a great meal and some live entertainment out at the Lloyd X grounds. The doors for the banquet will open at 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. A great meal, some great entertainment featuring live music from Playing with Fire. Monetary donations and toy donations that are raised through this initiative support a number of local organizations, including Big Brothers Big Sisters right here in Lloydminster. For all the details, you can get more information on our website, newcountrylloydminster.ca. And coming up this Sunday, it's the annual Terry Fox Run. In Lloydminster, the Terry Fox Run is going to be held right here at Bud Miller Park. On Sunday morning, registration will open at 9 a.m. and the run gets underway at 10 a.m. There's still time for you to register online or support somebody who's already registered to take part in the Terry Fox Run. For all the details and to make a donation, you can go online to terryfox.org, and we hope to see you on Sunday morning. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
There's one thing you can say about the border city right now. It is pretty chilly.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's dropped down to 11 degrees. You can see outside, rain has kind of been on and off. I don't know. I like the rain. I know you're not a huge
I went
fan.
to gas up today, and my hands were just so cold at the pump. Like, it's too cold right now. It's too windy.
That's
yeah. My issue.
I figure save that for next month, but I guess that's not how it's going here in Lloydminster right now. 24 kilometer-an-hour winds, so that wind might make it seem a little bit cooler than it is. 11 degrees right now here in Lloyd, and you can see the rain is pouring down here. So I guess if you like the moisture, that's good, but I don't know the rest. It's kind of a little bit chilly there. Lac La Biche, Vermilion, Wainwright, and Provost, all 11 degrees as well there. Cold Lake, Marwayne, Bonnyville, St. Paul, and Vegreville there, 12 degrees. And Edmonton is the warmest there in Alberta at 18 degrees. So everywhere is kind of experiencing the same thing today. And in Saskatchewan, the same story pretty much there. Pierceland, Green Lake, Meadow Lake, St. Walburg, Maidstone, Macklin are all 12 degrees, and Isle La Crosse and North Battleford there are 14 degrees. Now let's take a look at tonight in North Battleford. It's going to drop down to 7 degrees, partly cloudy, 25% chance of some precipitation there, and 15 kilometer-an-hour winds. So not quite as windy and rainy as it is in Lloyd, but still cool nonetheless. It looks like summer is going away. North Battleford tomorrow, though, will be warmer. It will be pleasant, and there will be a bit of sunshine there. You can see a few clouds there, but 23 degrees, low wind there, 11 kilometers an hour, so about as fast as you riding a bike, I think, there. Not too crazy in North Battleford. Now, tonight in Cold Lake, you can see there's going to be occasional rain and drizzle this evening. 60% chance there, 13 kilometer-an-hour winds, and the low there is 6 degrees tonight. And it is going to be warm in Cold Lake there, 21 degrees tomorrow, pleasant and warmer with intervals of cloud and sun. So it looks like the clouds will be dipping in and out throughout the day there, 9 kilometer-an-hour winds, so not too windy either. And tonight in Lloyd here, 7 degrees, partly cloudy, and 15 kilometer-an-hour winds. Lower precipitation, so yeah, it's not going to really cool off that much. I guess it's already kind of cool. 6 a.m., 7 degrees, and partly cloudy. We're keeping the sun there at noon there, 17 degrees, and at 6 p.m. it'll get up to 20 degrees. At midnight, it will be 12 degrees. Now, let's take a look at your 3-day forecast over the weekend. Saturday will be turning sunny and warmer with a high of 21 and a low of 9. Sunday, there will be plenty of sun there for Sunday with a high of 18 and a low of 7. And Monday will be pleasant with plenty of sun once again there with a high of 20 and a low of 7. That's your first look at your weather. We'll have more news after the break.
Crop producers are finishing up their harvests across Saskatchewan. Our Thomas Wildman has more with this week's crop report.
Today I'm joined by Megan Rosso, the Crops Extension Specialist for the Government of Saskatchewan, and she is here today to give us the crop report. So thank you so much for joining me once again, Megan.
Thanks for having me.
And Megan, it's been some time since we talked last, and producers have been in the fields for a long time. How many producers have finished up harvesting all of their crops so far throughout Saskatchewan?
So producers were able to make significant harvest progress over the past week due to the lack of significant moisture that fell throughout the province. Provincially, we're sitting at about 61% of this year's crop in the bin. This is up from the 42% that was reported as completed last week. And this falls ahead of the 5-year average of 50% and the 10-year average of 46%. Producers made significant progress kind of near the end of August and into September. The increased heat had helped speed up maturity of crops, so producers were able to get into the field a little bit sooner this year.
And with that high of a percentage of crop producers being finished harvesting their crop, what are yields looking like so far across the province?
Producers overall have been reporting yields that vary quite a bit between regions, as well as, field to field within the region. And that's just due to the scattered rainfall that we had throughout the growing season on which fields received it and which fields didn't.
And now if we can take a look at the Northwest region, how is this region looking for getting their crops into the bins, and what is the early outlook for yields here in the Northwest region?
Only has 49% of the crop harvested. This is up from 19% that was reported as harvest last week. So when we look in terms of year-over-year averages, this does fall ahead of the regional 5-year average of 27% and the 10-year regional average of 24%. In terms of yield, producers are still expressing varying yields field to field throughout the region, with some, experiencing less than the anticipated for yields, and some that are experiencing average yields by what was reported by crop reporters. And as we look to crop quality, some producers are expressing some concern with lighter bushel weights of crops as well as smaller seeds, just due to the conditions that we experienced throughout the growing season.
And we've seen some moisture over the last little bit. How important is that moisture for restoring the soil as well as pastures here in Saskatchewan?
Producers are hopeful that the precipitation that we're experiencing will help to replenish the soil moisture levels as well as improve pasture conditions as we move into the fall. We're seeing some lower levels of topsoil moisture conditions, and they've definitely kept declining over the last several weeks due to the drier conditions.
And finally, Megan, do you have any safety tips for producers as they finish up harvesting their crops?
Although the hot and drier weather has allowed harvest to progress, combine and equipment fires are a significant risk. Producers are also monitoring stored grain closely, as there are concerns for bin heating given the high temperatures that occurred at the time of combining. So as harvest continues to be a busy time for producers, they're reminded to take safety measures in all the work they do, including having fire mitigation resources on hand and taking precautions when working around power lines.
Thank you so much for all the information today, Megan, and we look forward to talking to you again about the next crop report.
Thanks.
Now let's take a look at your agriculture prices for today. Prospective Calgary Flames players practiced on Thursday, prepping for the NHL Young Stars Classic in Penticton. The Young Flames prospects will play 3 games, today against the Winnipeg Jets, and they will play the Oilers on Saturday, as well as the Canucks on Monday. 25 players are taking part in the camp for the Flames, including 3 goalies, 8 defensemen, and 14 forwards. The Flames will live stream their games on their website. The annual Terry Fox Run is coming up on Sunday. Abby St. John found out more about the local run and how people can still get involved.
I'm very happy to be joined in studio today by Heather Clagis. She is the co-organizer for this year's annual Terry Fox Run. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, the Terry Fox Run is a huge importance in Canadian history, and it still carries on today. It is the 44th annual Terry Fox Run that's taking place this weekend. Now, you are one of the organizers, and you have been for several years now. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what people can expect from Lloyd. It's taking place all over Canada, but here in Lloyd, it's no different. So for first-time attendees kind of wanting to test out the water, see what it is, what can they expect from our run here in Lloyd?
Well, here in Lloydminster, we're so fortunate to have Bud Miller Park. So that's where we're going to be hosting the run once again this year. And one of the reasons that it works so well is because they have different trail systems throughout the park. So if you're somebody who wants to stay completely on those paved trails, we'll set out a route so that you can stay on those paved trails. If you're somebody who likes to go kind of a little bit further into the park and some of the gravel trails, which are really nice to see the scenery, we've got a 5K route that goes through that as well. So, and that's the other great part about the Terry Fox Run. If you want to run 5K, you can. If you want to walk 5K, you can. If you want to walk for 2.5K, you can. And last year we had a number of people who came as a family, and the kids would be on the bikes and mom and dad would run. So there's so many different ways that people are welcome to participate. And I also have noticed recently that you see more people out on those scooters. So if you want to bring the kids of a scooter, they want to do the run that way on the paved trails, then they're welcome to do that this year as well. But we like to make it accessible, and we like to provide those options. So maybe you only want to walk 1K. That's fine. You're welcome to join us. If you want to do 2.5K, you're welcome to join us. If you want to take on that challenge of 5K, please come out and join us. And registration that morning will start at 9 a.m. And you're going to see us set up kind of near the park center and where the Canada flag is. That's usually where we set up our registration table. So you just head there. We've got great volunteers. They'll help you get all signed in and registered. And then we'll get the run underway at about 10 a.m. And we like to do a bit of a warm up before we send people out on the run. And yeah, that's kind of what people can expect. And also you can bring cash that day. Or if you've already registered online and you have a number of donations online, then you just come to the registration table, you let us know that, you sign in, and then we'll get you set for the run.
Yes, that's fantastic. And it seems that you guys have a great turnout each year. And like you said, you don't just have to run. It's not just a run.
Exactly.
It's easy to call it that because
Yes,
it's an
yeah.
easy way. But you can really, as long as you're participating, you are taking part and you are making a difference just by showing up, which is incredible. Now, even going off of last year, you guys raised $10,000, which is incredible. For this year, is there a goal in mind, or are you kind of wanting to match that goal kind of?
So we set our goal at $10,700 this year, and we're very excited because we just checked online and we're just over 50% of that goal. So that's really encouraging to see. And there's a number of people in our community that are really dedicated to this, like Louis DeCock has been doing the Terry Fox Run for a number of years. So it's great to see him back, and he's always somebody who raises quite a few funds. And also the Lloydminster firefighters, they put together a team, and last year they were one of the top fundraising teams in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So we're very excited that they're back again this year as well to support. And also, there's no minimum amount that you need to fundraise to take part. So everybody's welcome. And when you come out, you are also a sign of hope for people who are facing cancer. And unfortunately, so many people know somebody who has fought cancer. So when you come out, you're providing that hope, and that's so important as well.
Yes, and this community has a fantastic way of showing up when needed. And I mean, Terry Fox Run is so engrossed into Canadian history and our day-to-day lives. So it's incredible that we have something like this, but our community here in Lloyd, they know how to come together for a good cause, which is one of the most spectacular things about this city. Now, for registration, how can they do so online or in person? What is that process like?
So if you're registering online, it's terryfox.org, and then you can search for the run site. So just search Lloydminster and ours should come up. And then there's just a few questions that you have to answer, and then you get signed up and you're good to go. And if you don't want to register online, that's completely fine. You can just come see us the morning of the run, and we've got some great volunteers that will help you go through all the paperwork, and then you'll be registered and you'll be good to go. So you've got a couple different options.
Wonderful. And finally, just so people know when, where, and what times is this run taking place this weekend?
Sunday, September the 15th, out at Bud Miller Park. Registration will open at 9, and the run or the walk, however you choose to participate, that's going to get underway at 10 a.m. And we usually find that most people are back from their run between 11 and 11:30, and then there's going to be a few snacks that are going to be available after your run, and also you can pick up a sticker with the year on it so that you can show that you've completed the run this year, and there's a few other things as well. So that's kind of how the morning will run. And we hope we're going to have some great weather because we do this run rain or shine. So hopefully the weather will be on our side.
Yes, fingers crossed. I think the sun should be shining, and that will definitely be on your side. So thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we reach that goal of $10,700.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course.
The Dr. H.A. McDonald concert season kicks off at the Vic Juba Community Theatre on Monday. Stacey Comer has more on the upcoming shows.
Well, it's September, and that means back to school and also back to having lots of regular concerts at the Vic Juba Community Theatre. I'm joined today with the marketing assistant from the theatre, Sierra Bennett. Sierra, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, it is an exciting season coming up here for the Dr. H.A. McDonald concert series. And the first one is coming up here in less than 2 weeks now. It's very exciting. The Boxmasters, and the Boxmasters have a very famous face in the band as well. So tell me about that show, when it is, and a little bit about the band.
Yeah, so we have Billy Bob Thornton and the Boxmasters coming on September 16th. They're performing at 7:30 at the Vic Juba. Tickets are available. You can get them at vicjubatheater.ca, or you can also just come visit us at the box office. The Boxmasters, so I actually didn't know too much about them before bringing the show to the Vic, and I actually really like their music. I'm a huge old, like, classic rock type of fan, and you can tell with them, they kind of like their sound comes from 60s rock inspired, almost like the Beatles, Birds, and the Beach Boys. So I went through a lot of their albums, and I really loved it. They've been a band since 2007, so they have so much music. It's amazing how much they have. And they've also done a lot of cool things, like open for ZZ Top and the Steve Miller Band. And this show itself, it's more focused around their newest album, which is called Love and Hate in Desperate Places. And I've also listened to it. There's a bunch of amazing songs on there. Um, yeah, so we're really excited for it. It's going to be really good.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a great way to kick off the season. And then moving into October, which oddly enough is not that far away,
Oh,
we have another couple of different acts in the series. So the one that is obviously very popular around here as well is George Canyon. So tell me about that show.
Yeah, so George Canyon is coming on October 11th, and it's going to be an acoustic performance. I love acoustic performances. I think they're so intimate, and it's just such a great vibe in the theater, especially a theater like the Vic Juba, because it's already an intimate venue. So we have him. He's a very, like, older country sounding. So if anyone likes that, definitely get tickets to George Canyon. He's so talented and he's so kind.
So, Sierra, the next show that'll be coming up following the George Canyon show as part of this series is Canada's Unconventional Medium. So, can you tell me a little bit about the dates for that show and when people can buy the tickets and for exactly how many dates and the times of the shows and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we have Jenny coming on October 26th and 27th. It is a very interactive show. All information for it can be found on our website at vicjubatheater.ca. You can also buy tickets there, or again, you can come visit us at the box office. But it's cool that she's coming 2 days in a row, so we're really excited for it.
And then there is a show in December, but we do have some bad news, I guess, if people are still wanting to get in. It's proven to be very popular. Johnny Reed is coming for his Christmas show, but from what I understand, it's sold out.
Yeah, we are sold out for Johnny Reed. He's sold out so fast. Lloyd just loves Johnny Reed. He's been here at the Vic Juba a couple of times prior. And yeah, he's so amazing. I can see why it's sold out so fast, especially because it's all of his Christmas songs. And who doesn't love Johnny Reed Christmas?
Well, maybe somebody can be lucky enough to have a friend that's looking to take them, or possibly a
Yeah.
spouse, or maybe it's a surprise or something like that. Just because like you said, it is a great show, but unfortunately, that one is sold out. So, Sierra, for shows following that, if people are looking for information to find out what else is happening, what's the best place to find? Not only that information, but if they want to buy tickets for the upcoming shows that aren't sold out at the theater, where is the best place to find that all in one place?
Yeah, so everything can be found on our website, vicjubatheater.ca. It has all of the shows, the dates, the times, the tickets. You can click on each show and it has the ticket prices, and then you can actually book the tickets right online. We also keep things up to date on our social media, our Facebook and Instagram. especially our Facebook. Really good to look out for our Facebook. But yeah, vicjubatheater.ca has everything that you need to know.
All right, Sarah. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. And we will remind people once again that the first show coming up in the Dr. H.A. McDonald concert series is Billy Bob Thornton and the Boxmasters. That is the 16th of September. Tickets available still for that, again, at the website that you mentioned. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm sure we'll see you at the theater.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
Welcome back. Here's another look at your weather. Right now in Lloydminster, it is still 11 degrees, still cold out and still raining. 22 km/h winds, so I do believe the wind has slowed down just a little bit. But either way, yeah, windy and rainy. You're going to want your bunny hug out for this one for sure. Now throughout the region here, you can see it's about the same everywhere. Athabasca and Edson, 17 degrees. Whitecourt and Rocky Mountain House, 19 degrees, and Edmonton, Jasper, and Red Deer are all 18 degrees. You can see Cold Lake there is the coldest there, 12 degrees. Meadow Lake, 11 degrees. Prince Albert and North Battleford are 14 degrees. Saskatoon, a cool 15, and Melfort, 16 degrees. Moving up north, you can see it's still about the same there. Uranium City is 14 degrees. Stony Rapids and Wollaston Lake are both 12 degrees. South End Reindeer is 16 degrees, La Loche and Buffalo Narrows 13 degrees, and Flin Flon deviating there a little bit at 24 degrees. Now over in Alberta, you can see Fort McMurray 11 degrees, Fort Chipewyan 16 degrees, Peace River 18 degrees, Grand Prairie 19 degrees, Slave Lake 15 degrees, and High Level 20 degrees. Let's move south here. You can see Coronation, it is 12 degrees, Calgary 19, Banff 17, Medicine Hat 18, and Lethbridge 20. Now over in Saskatchewan once again here, Kindersley and Swift Current are sitting at 11 degrees, Yorkton 22, Regina 16, Moose Jaw 15, and Estevan 21. So it seems to be getting warmer as we move out west. And tonight here in North Battleford, you can see 7 degrees there, partly cloudy, 15 km/h winds, and 25% chance of precipitation. So not too crazy there. The clouds there are out, and it's a little bit colder than it would be in the summer. You can see fall's starting to kick in. And Cold Lake, it's a little rainier there. Occasional rain and drizzle this evening. Otherwise, the clouds will be breaking out, low of 6 there. 60% chance of precipitation and 13 km/h wind. So I do believe it's a little bit less rainy, or less windy, sorry, than North Battleford, but there's more rain there. Now tonight in Lloydminster, the rain will not be there. It'll be 7 degrees and partly cloudy with 15 km/h winds and a 17% chance of precipitation. Now let's look at some more temperatures overnight throughout the region. Meadow Lake 8 degrees, Bonnyville and Provost 6 degrees, Isle La Crosse 10 degrees, and Paradise Hill 7. All looking to get a little bit of rain in various cloudy states there. Mirnam and Unity are 6 degrees, Wainwright 5, Calgary 8, and Pearceland 7. You can see there Pearceland has a 60% chance of precipitation, and everywhere else looks like lower chances of getting that rain. Now let's look at the upcoming forecast. You can see the week is going to start out sunny and progress slowly to be more cool and rainy. But why don't we just enjoy the sunny weather for now? Saturday, 21 degrees.
It is quite nice to finally look forward to some sunshine because we have had a rough go for the last couple of days this week in Lloydminster. It's been very chilly. I've been complaining about it personally all week, so it's nice that it'll be quite warm.
Definitely. We like having that last little taste of summer there while we still can.
Yeah, while we still can. It's very fleeting. That is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks so much for watching.